What's up, y'all? Welcome to Straight Up Shop. I want to thank our shoppers for tuning in with us tonight. I'm your girl TK. I'll be your moderator. Here I have my lovely co-host.
D Pride.
I go by Senpai.
Latoya B.
I am Corte.
Straight Up Shop is a podcast where we discuss real life situations. Tonight we're gonna have two awesome topics. One by my girl Latoya B with self-love, then followed by with my boy Senpai with self-reflection. Straight Up Shop is powered by NoSense Media and BodyGuardTV. So let's make it make sense. Right? I want all y'all to tell me at least one thing that was funny that happened with y'all this week. Corte?
So, last night, I'm going to bring it up. We went out to this place called That Damn Daiquiri. And, yeah, I only had 2 daiquiris, about this size. Fell asleep at Toya's house. And woke up like, 3 o'clock in the morning? Noticed that nobody was in the house. But she rearranged the house so the couch was gone. I was in her bed, so I wondering where she was. And she didn't wake me up, so yeah, I'm in your bed till about 9, 10 o'clock. No, 9 o'clock. About 9 o'clock. So yeah, basically I got messed up last night and fell asleep in her bed, and she wanted me to get in bed with me. So
Wondering where you at. Crazy self.
Right.
What about you, Toya?
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, because I was on the couch, he was in the bed. Something funny this week. I know I have rehearsals. We're getting ready for the production that Corte is, wrote. And basically, I was just so short, running my lines. And then when there was like a awkward silence, because I'm so busy, worried about, okay, your line, you got you. And then there was an awkward silence, and I dropped my own line, trying to. And at the time I was so embarrassed, but it ended up being funny just because I was so sure, trying to make sure.
Worried about everybody else.
Oh, what am I supposed to say? So, it was funny. We got through it, but yeah.
long night.
We clowned. Yeah, we clowned.
Sometimes you gotta have fun to get through some things, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Be proud. What about you?
Man, listen. So I get home on this Saturday. Today is Saturday. No, it was Friday. Grab me some wine. I call myself gonna go watch Power. Power ended up watching me. I fell asleep right there. So
For me, I guess I wouldn't anything funny, but fun. If you believe in coincidences, you can call it a coincidence, but deja vu.
Right.
Yesterday went exactly how I dreamed about it 2 nights prior. So that was fun for me. There's nothing really funny. Like I'm either working, business, or coming home.
But it's funny how everything played out, though.
Right.
You dreamed about it, and then
Right.
boom, this happened.
Exactly.
That's pretty
He
funny.
had a That's So Raven moment.
That's so Raven. Nah, for real though. But me, something funny. Nothing really funny happened with me other than your girl turned 30.
Hey, that's fun.
yes.
It's fun.
welcome to the
That was
third
definitely
club.
fun.
33.
And let's talk about how Mr. just made my whole weekend. I don't even know how to describe it, y'all. Like, I had so much fun. Like,
Awesome.
a lot of fun. Like, a lot of fun is beyond the point at this point. Like, I don't even know how to pay him back. Like,
Aw.
seriously, like,
Shout out to
I'm
Mr.
trying to think of how I can make Father's Day something, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But, like, I give dude everything he wants. So, he ain't had to talk of, like, what he want, you know what I'm saying? So, if y'all got any ideas, feel free to hit me. Because Mr. showed up.
Buy a
Like,
wig.
for real.
Buy
He
a
did
wig.
that.
That's one thing he don't have a wig.
Nah, he got 3. Oh, you right. They're mine, Corte. They're mine. Y'all too funny. Why you do that to me?
He's a mess.
Well, let's talk about some real stuff, y'all.
Let's get into it.
Toya, let's talk about self-love. Take us off.
Okay. So self-love, which sounds like you were able to love on yourself for your birthday.
I
That was good,
was.
by your brother, so that's awesome.
I was.
So yeah, my topic I chose, self-love, something that I am definitely able to relate to, from the lack of self-love, even loving self, right? Self-love is just a simple term. I mean, it's self-explanatory, right? So if you don't know what self-love is, to love oneself, right?
Right.
But I'm just going to give you guys the dictionary explanation of what it says. So self-love basically means having a high regard for your own well-being and happiness. Self-love also means taking care of your own needs and not sacrificing your well-being to please others. Now, if I'm honest with y'all, this is something I struggled with. I used to be a people pleaser. I did, if I'm being honest. And I was worried about what the people say and what they think and all of that, which was exhausting. But for my people who know me, my family, friends, or whatever, know I'm an entertainment queen. I like to joke, clown, smile, laugh, have a good time, right? And I remember a couple of months ago, I was working this job. It started being like overwhelming for me, and I basically quit and didn't have a backup plan. But that's how stressful I was, stressful the job was. And so during that time, I quit the job. I'm unhappy with myself, and I just started feeling some type of way. It was like this heavy feeling came over me, and I didn't know what that was, right? And so I kind of felt bipolar, like I was having crying spells, where one minute I was, able to talk and just have a regular conversation, and then I could just break down crying in the same moment, right? So today what I know is that I was dealing with depression, and I didn't know that at that moment. I was just overwhelmed with all these feelings. And I've always had a strong relationship with God, and so I decided then that I'm going to try to figure this out on my own, you know what I mean? Like, I got this one, Lord, let me handle this, how we do, we try to fix stuff on our own, right? But like I said, little did I know that I was depressed, going through some things. And so at that time, I even felt like I wanted to die, right? There was no self-love. I wasn't loving myself. I felt like I wanted to die. Now, I didn't actually try to take my own life,
Right.
but I just wanted out. I wanted, the feeling that I was going through to leave. So with that being said, on the self-love, at that moment, I was just really struggling, okay? And I just want to know, is there ever a time in you all's life that y'all maybe lacked self-love? And I want to hit on 3 points real quick, like mentally, and then from a behavior pattern standpoint, as well as physical aspect when it comes to self-love. So have you guys ever experienced self-love mentally where you just kind of checked out? And if so, what did you do to start loving yourself again? B?
Man, it's been the majority of my life, to be honest with you. Mine started with my dad. I talk about this a lot, dealing with abandonment. That started my self-love issues, and then it trickled down to my mom, and playing the kids against each other. That affected my self-love, self-confidence, and things of that nature. And so, going through high school, dealing with bullying and crap like that. So, I mean, as far as behavior goes, I contemplated twice out of my lifetime. And one was after a situation with me and my mom. And, I'm trying to get people to assist me in that moment. So, but now, at the age of 35, I'm a whole nother human being.
Awesome.
That's good.
Awesome.
You can never, nobody can really tell anyway, but you definitely can't tell I've been through what I've been through. So, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, finding the one thing I discovered that a lot of people fail to do, and what you touched on a little bit a few minutes ago, is you have to learn how to choose yourself first. Until you can choose yourself, self-love, self-confidence is non-existent.
Right.
And like you said, the definition, putting yourself or holding yourself to a higher regard and not worrying about what anybody else got to say, because at the end of the day, if you not straight, you can't pull out of an empty container to give to somebody else.
That's true.
You gotta make sure you 100 first.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you go water and plant the seeds that you watered amongst other people. So, you know, you got some people that call it selfish. Call it what you want, player, but I'm gonna make sure I'm straight. And then that way, when I make sure I'm straight, when I make sure that I'm straight, I know that I can take my strength and distribute it to other people.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah, as a mother, we do that a lot. I'm sure you can relate, sis. If our cup isn't full, right, and we're trying to give and pour into our kids and then pour into, you know, maybe our spouse or our coworkers or whatever that looks like, you're going to be drained, you know what I mean? And you got to keep your cup full, you know, filled.
Right.
So, Senpai, you ever can relate to a time in your life with self-love?
Most definitely. And one of the main ones was when I decided to make a huge decision for my life and step away from religion. You know, I had experienced so much hate. You know, I experienced so much discomfort. I forgot what love was. So I had no choice but to teach myself how to love myself, you know? So it was one of those things where mentally you say, it's really hard, because it's like going about in the world today, right? It's like, damn, don't nobody really love me. You know, that leads to thought patterns, depression, suicidal thoughts, and it's just all those things where it's like, what really even matters, you know? And I've been there before where I've, you know, dealt with suicidal thoughts, you know, had the blade in my hand ready to, you know, do some stuff with it, or just contemplating these things, right? Because being alone, and even from the aspect of family, right? Once you grow in, okay, you have to grow into the aspect of love, but once you're in there in the beginning of it, it's just like when you don't have any love from anybody, it hurts. You know, especially the people who you grew up with, right? But it's like you see the love was only conditional due to you only being subjected to a certain group.
Right.
And so that also put another psychological barrier on me, and I was just like, okay, I really gotta like figure it out. Like, what about me do I love about me? You know, like I had to start looking for these things, and then, you know, I started really going in on my creativity, right? I love being a creative, acting, singing, dancing, you know, just alchemizing anything, creating something from nothing. But it's really a hard process, you know, getting to that self-love state. But yes, mentally I've been there for sure.
So when it comes to like a behavior aspect, right? When you love yourself, it shows, right? So you tend to date yourself. You go shopping, you know, go eating by yourself.
Facts.
Maybe read personal development books. Those are positive examples of what life should be like on a behavior standpoint when you love yourself, right? Treat yourself with respect. You know, you have this inner glow. You know, you watch your words. We always talked about them affirmations. You speak life into yourself, right? Those are things that, you know, that you should do whenever you are displaying love for yourself. So, Corte, have you ever had a time, you know, as far as from a behavior standpoint, maybe you were acting out differently, or, you know, just doing some type of different behavior that didn't reflect you loving yourself, or maybe it did?
I always put myself last. I always put myself last. Because I grew up to where it was a single family home. It's just my mom raised her 3 boys. And me watching her, like you were saying earlier about moms, she always made sure we was right. So I thought that was the right way to do. You always worry about everybody else first, and then take care of yourself later. And that's what I always did to this day. Like I always say, at the age of 32, listen, all that changed. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm able to do more on my own, but like you said, people start calling you selfish. Why am I selfish? Because I want to do it for me now. I did for y'all all for a long time. It's my turn now.
Right.
So, and as I start doing for myself, I notice who people really are now. And it showed they didn't really love you. They just loved the things that you did for them.
There you go.
Absolutely. That's what it's
So
always been
and
about.
after seeing that, I'm like, okay, we can't curse, but forget you too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. That is so true. Yes, people only.
Mm.
That's a whole nother subject
Yeah,
right
really
there.
Touched on something.
Yes. So when it comes to, you know, my last point I wanted to touch on, which is the physical aspect, right? If I'm honest, I do enjoy drinking alcohol, right? And but there was a point in that time that I overindulged, okay? And I wasn't paying attention to what I was putting in my body, right? Because of the lack of self-love that I had for myself, it caused me to drink more, right? I wasn't necessarily like an alcoholic, but I definitely consumed way more than I should have because I was trying to suppress those feelings and that, bipolar stuff and all of that I was feeling, right? So physically, in order to display positive love, you should watch what you put into your body, right?
Absolutely.
Whenever you go out in public, you want to be presentable. When you have self-love for yourself, you care about how you look, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily for them, but just for yourself, you know what I
right.
mean? And you should naturally have good hygiene. You should exercise, take care of yourself. A lot of people diet or work out and watch what they put on the inside of their bodies, and so just remember that your value of oneself shouldn't be comparing yourself to other people.
Amen.
And I know that whenever I was younger, I remember, you guys, I'm so serious. I used to put towels on my head because I wanted long hair.
Oh, wow.
And I thought that was real
Yeah.
life. My family could tell you.
No, that's
I used
real.
to, and
That's real.
you know what I mean?
Okay.
And so I kind of had a one-up because I was bright-skinned because, if you're white, you're right, I don't know if I should have said that.
No,
but
that was
anyhow.
actually that's actual
But I'm
song though. It's
saying-
actual song.
That's what they say.
But
now.
and so I kind of had that working for me. But I thought the long hair and the cute shape and something, and so I didn't even know myself. I thought that was what I was supposed to. I used to always want to be a model, and so what we weren't taught until like the last couple of years that plus size models, is in. But back
Right.
then you had to have the skinny, nice little.
Physique look.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I struggled with my self-love, physically. So have you guys ever had a time in your life you remember where you struggled physically? I'll also say that some people are stress eaters and some people don't eat when they're stressed. So physically, I started losing weight as well because I don't eat when I'm stressing. And, the lack of love that I have for myself, it just didn't matter, went out the window. So if you ever dealt with that physically where you were struggling with something and what did you do to overcome it?
Absolutely. When, of course, this is when my grandmother was living. I was like, 13? And I mentioned about being bullied. Well, I got bullied a lot for being black as hell, should I say. So, I got tired of it. And I had heard about, back in the day, and they said Michael Jackson bleached himself or he changed his skin tone. So, me not knowing, I'm just thinking, bleach is bleach. So I went home. I was staying with my grandmother at the time. Ran a bath water, and I just was emptying bleach in the tub. And I was like, I gotta do away with this. I gotta get this off of me. I'm tired of being picked with. I got in the tub.
Wow.
And
So what was the results?
well, it started to burn.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
It didn't change your
Right.
skin complexion.
It
I hope you
didn't.
learned that.
Right.
Okay.
And then grandma came in just in time to pull me out because I was just gonna sit there and take it.
Wow.
I was gonna sit there and take it. Because I got tired of it. So, yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Black is beautiful.
It,
and
Hey,
they say
I
the
done-
black
I
and the
done-
berry is sweeter than juice.
Yes.
Feel me?
There's
So-
the melanin. I'm sorry. Melon. Melanin. Melon. It's beautiful. We're all different shades, right?
Yeah,
But
and I
yes.
love chocolate.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Yeah, I'm so
What
glad
kind?
you shared.
black is
The
beautiful.
Hershey Kisses.
It might be with little almonds.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
gave you a good description.
Right.
But with me, I'm not sure where this fit the category. Maybe you could help find out where it fits.
Mhm.
But for a long time, until about a year ago, I was jealous of my brothers.
Really.
Cause they had everything that I wanted. And I didn't.
Like physically or
So they
Yeah.
had the girlfriends and wives. I didn't. They got the kids. I don't. They got the good paying jobs. I don't. So yeah, for a long time, it bothered me. I'm like, sometimes I didn't want to go hang out with them because I didn't have money to go out to eat sometimes with them.
Yeah.
Could they order all that stuff? I'm like, well, shit, I want that too. But couldn't. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for a long time, I was jealous of my brothers. And what I had did was me and my mom had a conversation. I finally told her. And then I finally told my brothers. Come to find out, they wanted what I had. I'm
It's
like,
crazy how
oh,
that
Wow.
turned, huh?
so we balance out then.
And
So-
y'all can help each other.
And that's what we do to this day.
Right.
Mm.
So, yeah, I'm
Wow.
not
Well-
sure where that fit, but hey.
Yeah, no, that's a great example.
Well, with that being said, we'll get back to this when we come back. But right now, we got to go on a commercial break. So
Oh, shit.
thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll be back right back, guys.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance.
Thank you for tuning in to Straight Up Shop. First, we want to thank our sponsors, Yala Coordinators, CrossFit NAC, and Alani New Energy Drink. But right now, we're going to get back to some real topics with my boy, Senpai, on self-reflection. Take off.
Most definitely. So as you all know, my topic is self-reflection. And it was actually kind of funny that I chose this one. Unbeknownst to you all, we choose our topics at random. And our topics actually were cohesive. So when you deal with self-reflection and basically connecting the two topics, self-reflection is the process to get to self-love, right?
Yep.
Self-reflection is bringing the awareness on the attention of the things that you want to keep down, the things that you want to, shy away from, or, the depression, the acting as if we're not depressed, right? Because we know I need to uphold this game of life. I can't let anybody know I'm depressed. Self-reflection is coming back and, you know what? I'm going to keep killing myself if I don't identify with whatever it is that's making me feel like this. So the question that I want to pose to the panel is self-reflection. You already know. Let me know when you had to have a time where you've had to sit self down, Me personally, I've actually even had to stop life, right? And just look directly into the mirror and just focus on nothing but the mirror in myself to really lock it in and focus on it. So I know I do that, but I want to hear about the self-reflection in your all's journey, because seeing as we're all up here, I know we all did some self-reflecting before. So I want to start with Cortez. Let me know.
So I think I want to say Toya. She would know I do this a lot. I would shut down and shut away from everybody.
Yeah.
They'll call me, text me, everything. I would not respond. They'll see me on Facebook. I would not post. I just go in there and look and see what everybody else doing. Try to change my mind for what had just happened. Because again, like you were saying earlier, bully and all that kind of stuff. So one thing I would do is, again, shut off, go in my room, cut the light off, lay in my bed, and just think about everything that just happened and find out how I can overcome what these people would say to me or do to me.
Right.
And never have an answer, but it's one of the things to where it's on the temporary to where I would just shut down and then come back, but yet it's still building up. So I don't know. I don't think I ever had to overcome anything yet, because I haven't overcame a lot of things yet.
Okay, well let me rearrange the question.
Go ahead.
What type of things do you do to help you self-reflect?
Oh,
Probably right. I would imagine.
Well, I'll do a lot of that anyway.
Right.
Shut down a 9. What would I do? I don't know.
You feel me? And that's
I don't know.
that's one of the reasons why I pose that question, because that's one of the things that we have to identify when it comes to self-reflecting. If we want to attain self-love, that's the process. So I asked a question to Toya.
Mm-hmm.
What steps do you take with self-reflecting? How do you self-reflect?
You know, something that I'm struggling with, and that I, pray one day I'm able to overcome it. But I tend to think negative first, then positive, even though I love God, but I do. And that's something I'm working on, right?
Mhm.
And so I've been told several times about my stinking thinking, right? My negative, you know what I mean? Because I tend to go there first because I'm so hard on myself.
Yeah.
But again, if I'm honest, just recently I had to self-reflect. When I look back on where I'm at in my life, the things that I've achieved or not achieved, I'm not, of course I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be either, right? But anytime that I look around, maybe, where I live, the car I drive, the bank account, the shape, all of those are moments where I reflect on myself. I do it actually more often than I even realized it now that I think about it.
Right.
I reflect on things, but I had it bad. Remember I told you I was a people pleaser, right? So I had it bad comparing myself, and it would make me reflect on myself.
Right.
Comparing myself to other people
Right.
or other people's status or where they're at, and I want to be a homeowner one day, and it just makes me, I'm not a homeowner, I'm not in line to do that, and it makes me reflect on the decisions I make and what,
Right.
So I do it more than I like to, and I think once I change my thinking about it, it's not going to be from a negative standpoint. It's going to be like, okay, I'm not there yet, but am I making the steps to get there, or whatever
Right.
that thing look like,
So it sounds like appreciation, right? Being in the present moment. That's how you help, right? And self-reflect, because that's one of the things that we all need to learn how to do. Me personally, I meditate all the time, and getting into the self-reflecting of meditation, it's really putting awareness on what needs to be done, right? So
Ooh,
just
yes.
to take in the aspect of what you said, you look at the bank account, or you look at life, or just whatever, right? It's just these little things to appreciate. You're just appreciating life as it plays out. So what I try to show is that through self-reflection, you see that it's really just appreciation on yourself, not being too hard on yourself, right? The negative thoughts that we do have, if you tap into the psychology of the human body, that affects our aura, right?
Yes.
Because this is the computer.
Right.
The brain up here sets the foresight of your life. So if you are thinking negatively, you're going to produce that energy from you, right? Everything that
Yes.
you're going to be walking in nothing but negativity,
Right.
right? So I bring the question over to B Prod and TK, and I want you all to, I don't know why, but I just feel I want you all to go at this question together, right? Both of you self-reflecting, right? When have you all self-reflected? Let me know. Talk to Senpai.
Well,
The way you said that.
it really started with me last year when I began to go through, of course, my divorce. I talk about that quite a bit.
Right.
It forced me to sit. I forced myself to sit down and just deal with myself. Think about all the things that I've done in my life to, like Toya said, being a people pleaser, because I was a big one.
Yeah.
Big, real big, with a capital B. But just sitting back and thinking about the lengths I went to try to fit in and things of that nature, and then just reflecting on it, and then looking at the qualities of myself after the fact. What does B Pride bring to the table? And so, in the midst of that, I started to think about, producing a new me. And so that new me, which is what I go by as B Pride now, and BE Pride, I gave it a definition.
Right.
Means live courageously. Being Brian Pride, I didn't do that.
Facts.
I lived how people said I should live.
You created the alter ego.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I
And
like
so
that.
now I already never liked my real name, but so I guess, you know, what you don't like, you shed off. What wasn't no good for you, throw it away.
That's what they say.
And exactly, bro. Just throw it away. You have to get rid of it. But TK, I want to swing it over to you. Talk to me. Self-reflecting. How do you self-reflect, and when have you used it?
So I've been doing a lot of self-reflecting since I had my baby girl. Simply because that's a little girl looking up to me now.
Right.
With my boy, I felt like, okay, you're a little boy, weak and thug. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, I mean, he needs to know that, you know, mama ain't just, hey, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
like, and that's how I live. I mean, I don't live on a generational curses. So I just learned to think back on what I saw my mom do, and is that how I want my daughter to be? Because I am like 99.9% like my mom. Like, literally. We are one and the same. I'm just her daughter. And so, like, I just learned to think back on, is that how I would feel? Or is that how I would want things to be? And then that helps me to have a better reflection on what I need to put out to my children. And I mean, really, that's what it is. I've never been a people pleaser. I don't care what you think. That's never been me. You can say what you want to say. And I was the one that, we could fight though. And that's just what it was. That was me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I've never had to deal with the bullying. No, you know what? It was one time when I was bullied. And my brother saw it. And I promise y'all, he ran so fast. Because the girl had me by my shirt. But she was way bigger than me. At this time, I was like a little girl. And she had me by my shirt. And I'll never forget how my brother ran down the street and just almost choked this girl out. No lie. And at that moment, I knew, can't nobody mess with me. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And, like, I can't lie about that. You know what I'm saying? Because I was the child of my mom's that was that way. Like, my brother was, like, calm. You know, it was sometimes where I had to step in, like, that's what you're not going to do. You know what I'm saying? So I've never been a people pleaser to nobody. I've just always been me. I talk my talk. I had my own style. I did things the way I wanted to do it. It was never, I did this for somebody else. Because my mom didn't make me live like that. So that was somewhere where I didn't have a problem with reflection. It was once I started having kids. Now I'm living for two people. You know, first it was my boy. We gonna talk it out. We gonna talk it out. But my daughter, like, y'all, she thugged. And I gotta calm down because now she like, bing, 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 bing. And I'm like, no, because you're not even in kindergarten yet. You know what I'm saying? So that makes me reflect on, okay, what am I giving her to make her feel like she has to do that? But my mess up was I taught her how to fight at like 14 months. And that's just what it was because she was so advanced.
Right.
So she helps me reflect on a lot because, of course, I'm raising a young lady. So I want her to be respectful. I want her to know that she's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure everything is perfect. But then that goes back on self-love.
Exactly.
I had to learn how to love myself, and I think y'all. I know y'all gonna get on I'm gonna get on your nerves, but my 30th made me like believe in self-love. I didn't have my kids for 4 days. It was racking my brain. You know what I'm saying? But I knew they was good. But that made me notice self-love. Like I don't love on myself enough.
Right.
Like, I don't have enough time to be away from my kids. So that helped me to know that now they're good because he took me from my kids for 4 days, y'all. 4 days. And I didn't have to plan nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it was all lined up. Like, Mr. did that.
Man.
For real, for real. So that was my, like, point on reflection. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was a great topic, but we're going to hit another commercial break, and we'll be back, okay?
Sure.
Hey everyone, my name is Erin Nicole. I am the owner-operator of A. Nicole Entertainment Management Group, and I want to cordially invite you out to my first annual A Industry Networking Mixer. It will be held July 11, 2021 at Chocolate Lounge exclusive in Dallas, Texas. This event is for any and everyone in the entertainment industry. If you want to become a part of the entertainment industry, please come out, get some good information on what you need to do to be successful in this environment, and also enjoy foods, drinks, and a few special performances. Again, we look forward to seeing you July 11, 2021. Feel free to reach out to me by email at erinnicole@anicoleentertainmentgroup.com or by phone at 469-796-9594. Hope to see you there.
Don't look at all. You're dead to me, Maurice. Now get the fuck out of here.
So y'all, what are we doing? I think we should rally on the strip. Rally on the strip for what? It's not our own people killing us.
One day I was over there and I overheard him talking to his friends about the gay people.
My mother was a lesbian. She left my father for a woman.
Just because Chris came and tried to holler at you, didn't mean you had to take the bait. You should have shut that shit down and not even go along with it.
Man, you stay the fuck out my face with that bullshit. Or what? Or what? What the fuck you gonna do?
Mama, have anybody seen Maurice? No, what's going on? Another attack.
Wait, how do you know about Daniel?
I ain't had nothing to do with Justin and any of them other folks getting hurt. And if you say that I did, then we got a problem. We got word on the street that you or somebody you might know something about that text that's been going on around here.
Why can't you accept me like Kimberly accepts your daughter?
When you're sober, that is when we'll have this conversation.
Oh my God, mama. Wow, that dude doesn't care. You know this.
Maurice, it's time for you all to come together and talk and just let bygones be bygones.
No.
For the first time in my life, I'm scared.
Michael and Tiana has a perfect marriage, but someone has the guilty pleasures. But when the welcome home party turns to flames, from the people who brought you Burning Flame, But I'm Married and Discreet, I Am Corte Entertainment brings you a story on family secrets, marriage, love, and friendships. Starring LaToya Brown, Chris Rogers, Garrett Thomas, Nisha Ladeau, Nay Sue, Taiwan Smith, and Erin Nicole. Cortez' Perfect Marriage Guilty Pleasure stage play, directed by Prudence Sneed and written by Corte. 2 shows June 12th at 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Get your tickets now.
All right. Thank y'all for tuning in to Straight Up Shop. We want to make sure you check out in the South on YouTube, powered by I Am Corte Entertainment, A. Nicole Entertainment Management Group, Perfect Marriage Guilty Pleasure Stage Play. It's written by Corte, directed by Prudence Sneed, and it's going to play on June 12th, 2021. Sorry about that. So yeah. Final thoughts. We got some stuff here, guys.
Well,
So, question, and this is for everybody. So you talked about self-love. You talked about self-reflection. So just to throw this in here, self-love is okay for women, right? We need that. But it's selfish for a man to love himself, right? Is that a double standard? What y'all think?
Me personally, if you pose the question like that, it is a double standard. But as somebody who considers themselves separate from society, I don't look at it, like it's wrong, because you're really just taking on society's views, right? Oh, a man shouldn't have to self-love himself. What's wrong with that? Like, what's wrong about go getting a haircut. That's self-love, right? Making sure you look good, buying some cologne, right? I just feel like if you just pose the question in a certain way, like, yes, self-love, everybody needs self-love, man.
Right.
Come on now. Like, let's stop focus on separating the issue.
Yes.
Like, men and women, like, everybody needs self-love. Like we can just take this whole topic and just generalize it and say, yes, it's a separating question, but everybody needs self-love at the end of the day.
Right.
But see, but it's only in our community. When I say our community,
Yes.
the black community.
That is
Because
true.
you don't hear this kind of stuff in
Facts.
European descent people. For instance, why is it that men can't love themselves? It's just like when they say black men is supposed to be emotional. Why? We got feelings too. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like, what do we supposed to do if we can't have self-love? What is there else to do besides be people with air in our bodies, breathing
Right.
our body? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, it's a double standard.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Toya, what you
selfish to the
think?
community.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and but I like the angle that you came with it. You know, ultimately we all need self-love, and that's facts. I mean, God is love if you're a believer. You know what I mean? Like, that's our creator. That's who created me. So naturally, but you know, women, we're emotional beings, right? And so yes, I do agree that we loving us or us loving ourselves. But whenever a man did, you know, they're soft, they're weak, they're tender, whatever
Right.
that, you know,
Right.
they tend to knock that thing or whatever if they show any kind of love. But then when they, you know, you guys get into a relationship in adulthood, and then they wonder why, or we wonder why you guys don't show your feelings. You know what I mean? Or be in tune with your emotional side or whatever, because you were taught to suppress all of that growing up, or you
Right.
want to be looked at as a weaker person. And so naturally, self-love is for each and every individual human being, you know, period. I mean, we all require, it's not even something that we need, it's like a mandatory prerequisite. It's like a
Right, right.
requirement to love oneself. And if you lack self-love, I encourage you, something else I wanted to hit on was therapy. Like, therapy is, I'm a big advocate for therapy because it can teach you tools and coping skills on how to love your, you know, self, and how you can change your thought process. And yes, I'm going to be getting into therapy.
And I'm so proud to hear you say that, because
Yes.
I feel like our community makes it, like, we were taught that therapy is not the right thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're
And
right.
it's in our
Well, you
community.
crazy.
Yes.
You need
So,
therapy.
Yes.
Jesus only.
I think a lot of people,
Yes.
right, and I think a lot of people think that, oh, I'm going to look a certain way if I go to therapy,
Mhm.
or this is going to make me feel this type of way, when in reality, that's what we need.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not saying no other community doesn't need it, but we need it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we were taught to separate each other
Right.
Mhm.
and not become unified as
Right.
one. You know, so I'm glad you said something about therapy, because that's something that our community needs. This generation, our generation, and the past generations, we all need it, and it's like we just take it out like it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But how do you feel about that, Dobie Brian?
I'm sitting here listening to y'all, and it made me think about it when it comes to self-love with women and self-love with men. When you think about men and women in a relationship, okay, it would be encouraging for a woman if she's in a bad relationship with a man. Girl, you better leave his behind. You better go on about your business. Go live your life. Love yourself, baby. But if the man says, hey, I can't deal with this woman, you wrong for leaving her like that. You could have stayed there and worked it out. Be patient with her, love her, do this and do that. But why wasn't the same speech given to her with me?
That's a very good point. Wow. Yeah.
Well, honestly, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
was
a
gonna
very
say,
good point.
being a person who dealt with that, because I'm young. Like, I went out to college at 17. I went to California, but being in that situation, it's really like that. Like, oh well, the man like try to work it out, do this. Me personally, fuck that. Do yourself. Do what you need to do, because at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
If we
Because
being
it's
straight up.
It's
Real
still,
talk.
no, I'm like, the show, you know, we straight up shop, we making shit make sense. At the end of the day, that whole aspect of, oh, being a man, you need to do, no, because so let's say if me and Tori was to be in a relationship, right? I'm not going to know how to provide for you because I'm not going to be able to understand you emotionally. because I don't understand my own emotions. So how can you expect me to understand yours?
Right.
Right. That doesn't make any sense. Like this, that's why I say people get so caught up in societal standards.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. And that's a generational curse, bro, that we're breaking, and people don't like to see that because they think it's, oh, you need to follow how your grandmother did things, or you need to follow how such and such did things. And in reality, we are our own people.
That's like telling us to go back and live in the industrial age when we're in the technology
Exactly.
age.
Right.
It doesn't,
Exactly.
they don't correlate.
I like my grandma or any other grandmas, but they had too many kids.
And then also, when we said talking about the double standard, look at what they put up with to remain together and to keep the household together. Grandma sitting there depressed.
Yeah, keep what goes on in his house stays in his house.
Man, that traumatic ass response.
Right.
But yeah, it goes to what I was saying earlier, what you had said about self-love. But can we really have self-love, though? Because if a woman have too much self-love, then she get looked at as being stuck up or a bitch.
Oh.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? If a man, we already said about the man, you know, they ain't supposed to show self-love.
Right.
So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. So again, what do we supposed to do?
Live for yourself.
Live for oneself and not others.
There's some more coming.
And you just,
so it's like,
whatever.
No, but that's what I'm
behind
saying.
me.
We live in a life of fractals, so you're gonna keep running into the same situation. You have to be the change.
Right.
That's what I say. That when I became the person who I am, right, senpai. I have a song that's out, right. This isn't no cameo or a little promo, but it's called "So Long to the Old Me." It's literally talking about this situation, literally, because this version of myself did not exist.
Right.
But I had to do certain things to catch that.
Right.
We'll talk about that afterwards.
Yeah, we'll get back at that. We're going to hit our next commercial break. And yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Come on, guys, let's go! Come on, guys, we're almost there!
We at A. Nicole Entertainment Management Group strive to bring your vision to life by helping serve all the needs to assure you have a successful event or presentation. We specialize in booking venues, managing budgets, negotiating contracts and fees, booking performers, managing events, personal assisting, event branding, and more.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance.
So what's up, everybody? As you can see, self-love and self-reflection is big in our community and everybody else's community. I just want to go real quick into my situation, and I'm big on self-reflection and self-love because I had to do this. It took a lot out of me just to come back to who I am as a person. This is real, and this is like in a 4-year time frame. I lost myself. I lost myself completely. Didn't even know who I was. And that hurt me. So I'm saying this so you can understand that you can still do whatever you want to do. But you have to self-reflect, but love yourself first before you give love to anybody else. Okay? As y'all can see, this wonderful panel gave y'all some real topics. They do every show. This is episode 6, and y'all been shopping with us since day 1. So we appreciate the love, we appreciate the support, but understand, self-love means a lot. And it's time for you to understand that you have to go out there and self-love yourself and self-reflect in order for you to get where you want to go to in life. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Straight Up Shop. We are
Straight Up Shop.
And we'll see y'all next time.